To the cloud. All right, good. All right. As outgoing president of the Sons and Daughters of the Vietnam War, it's my honor and duty to install the officers and board members for the ensuing term. Officers and board members elect, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Susie.
I, Leila.
Jennifer Caldwell.
In the presence of
In the presence of
the members assembled here,
the members assembled here,
do solemnly pledge and promise
Do
solemnly
promise
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of my elected position
the
duties
duties
the
of my
duties
elected
of my elected position
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
to the best of
to the
my
best of
knowledge
and ability.
Commit myself to the Constitution and bylaws
Commit myself to
Commit myself to the Constitution and bylaws
to further the objectives of this organization
to further the
further
objectives
the
of this
objectives
organization
of this organization
and to always remember to
and
to
to
and to
always
always remember to
honor the legacies of those who served.
honor
the
the
legacy
of those who serve.
those who serve.
By the authority vested in me by the Sons and Daughters of the Vietnam War, I now proclaim you duly installed.
Yay.
All right, and I am going, everybody, I'm turning my video off because I'm going to take a picture. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Susie,
Raise your right hand, Susie.
Sorry.
1 second, and perfect, you're in. All right, I just want to say thank you. I posted a thing on my Facebook today that just said that I am very excited about what is going to happen with this group going forward, and I am definitely happy that I'm leaving it in very, very capable and enthusiastic hands. So thank you guys all for your support over the last few years while we started this group. Everyone here has been, you know, a big part of pushing forward. And so I just wanted to say thank you to you all. And I'm not gonna disappear on anyone. I'll be here as past president. You guys still get to bug me. Susie does all day. So thank you all, and good luck on pushing forward. Good luck, Dennis, too.
Thank you, Katie. And Katie, I think on just behalf of all the members on the board, thank you for what you've done in your vision and getting us started 3 years ago, and we've come a long way. And now I'm ready to take over and go 0 to 60 in about 2 seconds here. And you guys, you're going to see it's a whole lot that's going to be coming at you. Hopefully it'll take us to the next level and grow our membership and our activities and our public presence and those things. So I've got some slides. Hopefully I do this right. I'm going to try to go back and forth. So hopefully I don't lose you here when I'm doing this and I go back and forth between sharing my screen. But the first thing for my president's report is I just want to go over a couple things that I have some ideas of, some things that I'd like to see during my term, some things I'd like to see us work on right away. So we will, I'll share my screen with you here. And let me open PowerPoint. All right, so like I said, I'll go through.
I don't think we're seeing your screen.
Yep, not yet.
No?
No.
No.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna say who can share. I didn't have all participants could share. Okay, now see if you can share.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
So Let's see here. Okay, there we go. And you guys seeing all the participants here?
Yep.
There. Okay, they're gone. Oh, well, no, I thought you were gone. There we go. Okay. So, a lot of this you're going to see comes from like a marketing or a PR point of view, and that's going to be just to get our name out there, hopefully attract more members. And part of that, these are two things that I'm going to do. And these are already been ordered. They're on the way. The first is a challenge chip. I've ordered 1,000 of those, and those I'm going to just keep in my pocket. And when I'm traveling, I've got a new job where I travel all over now. Whenever I'm traveling out and about, I'm just going to hand those to veterans, thank them for their service. And I plan on doing a wooden version for the officers and boards and sending everybody a bag of those so you can do the same when you're out in public. You can hand those out, thank people for their service, and give us a little bit of recognition that, you know, it's got the website on there. People may go check us out. They may show it to their son or their daughter, and we may pick up some members that way. And then below that is a bracelet that I ordered. I ordered 1,000 of these. And part of the reason I did this is my father is being honored at the In Memory program, Father's Day weekend at the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. So I'm going to run in a ton of people there. And I thought, what was something better than handing out just a card with our info? So I ordered 1,000 of these bracelets. It's kind of hard to see, but one side's got our new website address, which is now working, by the way. So if you go to www.sdvw.org, it redirects to our page on the museum website. And then the other side says honoring the legacies of those who served. So as well, I know I'm not going to pass out 1,000 in Washington, D.C. I plan on sending some of those to each member and board or each officer and board member as well. So you'll have those in your back pocket you can use if you're talking to somebody about the organization. It's got the website on it. Just hand them a bracelet, and hopefully that'll drum up some membership that way as well. Next item, and Susie and I were talking, and we've got it's with dues renewals being due 12 months of the year, it's making it very hard. We've got, and I've been guilty of it myself, where I got the dues renewal and I kind of put it aside, forgot about it. My dues had lapsed for like 3 months at one point before I paid it. I know we have some officers before the meeting today that their dues wasn't paid yet. And I think part of that is because we have dues due all throughout the year. And so I went through and I started looking at a lot of organizations. It was very hard to find organizations that had dues across the board like we do. The only one that I could find was the Moose Lodge. Other than that, I only put 5 of them here, but you can see a lot of groups, theirs expire at the end of the year, makes it nice and easy. You do a prorated type dues if they join, you know, in like August or September, and then you could just do a dues renewal at the end of the year. Something to think about. Also something that we've talked about in the past, and it's just kind of been put on the back burner, but I'd like us to start doing a little bit of conversation about it and looking into it, is life memberships. It's a great way, and that would also help this problem with the dues renewals. If we could do life memberships, a lot of people will pay that $200, $250 to not have to worry about it again. So just something for us to think about. No, these are all things for us to think about. I'd like to see some of them put into action, but you know, that will come through committees and those type of things. So, but just things to put out there. Like I said, the website is now or the web address now redirects. There is a little problem with the Google browser. If you go through the Google browser, you do have to put in the www for some reason. I don't know why. Every other browser I tried, if you just type in sdvw.org, it takes you right to our page on the website. Hopefully now that we have that established and we own that domain, we can over time eventually turn that into our own independent website with more information than versus just the one page on the museum page that they've been kind enough to host for us. Partnerships. I'd like to look into some partnerships. Like I said, my father is being recognized by that program in Washington, D.C. on Father's Day weekend. This is that program. I've had a little bit of talks with the director, but this would be something that would almost fit hand in hand with us, being that the demographic for this is children and spouses of veterans that have died after coming back home for war-related causes. So something to look at. And then also you'll notice off to the upper right-hand corner, there's a some roses there with a card. What that is, and anybody can go onto the website, vvmf.org, and they sell Father's Day roses. They're $5 a piece. If you're not there in Washington, D.C., you can leave a message and they'll place the rose for you. There's 3 different colors based on how that veteran died. And then I ordered 3 additional roses. So when I'm there, I'll also be placing a rose, one of each, on behalf of our organization. So like I said, that's coming up Father's Day weekend. I plan on talking to the director face to face then and seeing if there's any possibility that we might be able to work with each other. Next thing I thought to help bring us some notoriety, might help drum up some membership, some interest. There's a lot of notable sons and daughters out there that we've just never really considered before. And you look on here, there's some pretty notable ones: Tiger Woods, Pink, Meghan McCain, Maggie Sajak. So there's another possibility there, something for us to look at, possibly offering some honorary memberships or, a couple years for free to get them in and possibly be some type of spokesperson for us. Next is America 250. I don't know if anybody's aware of it or how many people are aware of it, but there's a lot of planning going on across the country for America's 250th birthday. Most of us, I think, probably weren't around for 1976. If you were around, you were very young. So you probably don't remember a whole lot. So we all missed out on it, kind of. But it's a big opportunity for us, our group, to get out there and leave some lasting things that will be there in the future on behalf of our group, whether it be any type of memorials or those type of things. But I'd like to form a committee so we could start looking at what can we do to celebrate America's 250th anniversary and celebrate our veterans. And as part of that, and I've shared this with Katie, and I know she shared it with Ian, and they both thought it was a good idea, is I'd look at the possibility for the 250th anniversary of possibly putting together some type of USO show concert on the grounds of the museum in conjunction with PBS. I looked into it. There's a lot of planning, a lot of processes that go through behind that, but it's something we can pull off. We would have to get some corporate partners and some other partnerships, but it's something we could totally pull off, and it'd be a nice event. One that would thank veterans again for what they've done for us, give recognition to the museum, bring some people to the museum that have never been there before. And if we could go the route and have it be a PBS special, that's one of those things that'll play for the next 15, 20 years. You turn on PBS today and you see something that was recorded 20 years ago and they still play it. And so that's just constant recognition for the museum and for our group if we're able to pull that off. So I'm going to stop sharing there. That's just my couple things that I want to throw out there, some food for thought. But we'll come back to some of those in a little bit. I do want to move on to Ian. I want to thank Ian for joining us today. If you don't know Ian, Ian is the director and the curator of our museum. He's also previously, before coming to us, he was with the Frontiers of Flight Museum, the LaPorte Colored Schoolhouse Museum, and the Museum of the Gulf Coast. He's a graduate of Lamar University, and he's received his Master of Arts from Midwestern State University. And he's also a volunteer. He's volunteered for 7 years with Camp Quality, and he's a member of the Parker County Historical Commission. So Ian, it's great to have you. Thanks for joining us, and we'd love to hear an update on the museum.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dennis. And I should probably start by saying I'm sorry because, it's been a year and a half, and this is the first time that I've ever joined on a meeting with you all, and I do apologize about that. I'm sure for those who have talked to me before, it has been a very busy year and a half, a lot of long days. But if you haven't been to the museum recently, I would, just advise you to go check out all the changes because a lot of them are happening, have happened, and a lot more coming in the future. So as far as it goes with what we're trying to accomplish this year, really the biggest focuses have been on exhibit updates as well as donor relations. So I'm not sure for, everyone out there, if you know how the museum has really operated over the past several years, but we have a very large donor base. We fundraise nationally, and we have not done a good enough job of really pushing the museum name out there with our donors other than our mailing campaign. So we are working very diligently on trying to put more into marketing. So if you start noticing the museum pop up a lot more online, then that means I'm doing my job and something's going right. Which I hope that's the case. We have a bunch of new exhibits that are going to be coming up. So we just got funded for a fixed wing. It's called aerial bombardment. So we managed to raise about 15,000 for that, and this is going to be 100% just about fixed wing aerial operations, because again, we're trying to remind people that, you know, although the Vietnam War was predominantly a helicopter war, we're trying to honor every single branch of service other than just helicopter pilots. So trying to focus a little bit on that. Whenever this is done, this meeting is done, I'm actually getting ready to do a little bit of a celebration. And Katie, I was going to tell you about this earlier, but we are actually, as of tomorrow, getting ready to secure our first 6-figure donation of the year. And from that same family, we're in the realm of potentially securing our first ever 7-figure donation from them. So things are really starting to pick up. What I told people at the very beginning, when I first kind of started here, was that the way that I kind of see nonprofits is that a lot of the times it's a snowball effect, because, you know, when I first started over here, we were making exhibit changes for $100, you know, per case, or $50 here, $50 there, what we could, you know, just kind of scrap by, even though we've had money. And we got the first grant in with the Brazos Foundation, and that one was $3,000, and we made as much of a visual impact difference on that. And from there, we're able to say, well, this is what we're able to do with 3,000. Imagine if you give us 10,000. So that snowball effect's really starting to happen a lot over here. And I'm going to try to be a little bit better about also keeping y'all up to date with what's going on at the museum. We're going to be trying to make a couple of changes to the website first off. So for the Sons and Daughters page, I know Katie was talking to our website administrator, but we're working on the forms and the way that we go about payment for y'all. So we do have the option, I'm pretty sure this has already been said, but we use QGive at the museum. And because we use QGive, the Sons and Daughters are also able to use QGive. That is our online transaction processor. It's a very small fee for us. So whoever's going in to make that transaction for the membership also has the option to pay for the transaction fee. The realistic cost is probably no more than 10 cents, but we have a buffer on QGive where when someone goes through to pay for the extra, it pays like an extra 80 cents or so. And to be honest with you, 2 people doing that typically covers everyone else that doesn't. So, you know, it's not a huge deal. Later this year, we will be looking at the museum also updating our website just from top to bottom. So if that does happen and that project works out, you know, depending on how everything else is moving along this year, we'll definitely make sure to keep y'all in the loop on that one too, because, you know, we have the opportunity to redo some stuff with Sons and Daughters page as well. So we'll keep you up to date on that. Otherwise, we'll be, by end of July, our first static plane will be coming into the museum. When I was talking about that 6-figure donation, we have a donor who's willing to pay for Cavanaugh Flight Museum closed down out in Addison, Texas. And they have a 1964 A7 Corsair II that this donor wants so badly to be at the museum that she is covering all costs, including payment of the plane. So the museum will privately own it and all transfer costs. So it's been a great day. Ready to have a glass of wine, celebrate. And one of the other marketing things that we're getting ready to start as well too. So we had a meeting today with Medal of Honor recipient General James Livingston. He is a Marine Medal of Honor recipient, 4-star general, great guy. Very crazy in the best way possible. But we're talking about the possibility of putting together a Medal of Honor advisory group for the museum. This group would just be Medal of Honor recipients from every branch of military that served during Vietnam that are just going to help us fundraise. These guys are very good at fundraising because everyone wants a Medal of Honor recipient. So I told Livingston some of the costs that we were going for, and he's like, you know, $1 million, like, I can get you that in 6 months. So hopefully he will be a great asset to the museum, and a lot moving on. So it's pretty much all I can think of at the moment. Sorry, I'm still kind of coming down from the high of just what happened today. So
Great job, Ian.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very exciting. I can't wait to see that. And thanks for joining us. I know it took a while for you to get with us, but I'm glad you were able to work it out and join us. And I love hearing the updates, and hopefully you're able to join us again soon. Susie, I am so sorry. I skipped right over you. You're on mute. There you
You're
go.
already taken after Katie. Okay.
I teach them well.
You
Okay,
want to
well,
pull up the slide?
Yeah, pull your slide up.
Okay, so for this meeting, I figured I would start with from the beginning of the year, and then in future meetings, we'll just go ahead and do the 2 months in between meetings. So this year, so far, year to date, we've had 21 people renew their memberships and 11 new members. So we brought in $800 so far this year. And we've spent almost that much between, that should be 777 for the bags. Anyway, so we've spent 780 total, but our current bank balance, is, as you can see, is $4,149.66. Now, my next big project, if you see on the little banner there, out of 119 members that we've had, we have 42 members that are not in good standing as of this moment. So if we can get those other 42 back in, then we will have a little bit more money coming our way. So that's the next big project.
All right. Is there a motion to accept the report?
I'll motion to accept the report.
Okay. Thanks, Jennifer. A second?
I'll second.
Todd, any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right. Report passes. Since you're up for the museum report, do you want me to just go to your slides now?
Sure.
Okay. So I'll go to this one here. And then I did the second one on the second slide.
Okay, so what you're looking at right here is the current women's exhibit at the museum. We started with, before we came along, well, not that we did all of this, but originally there was only one little display. And a couple of ladies came by the museum and said, no, this doesn't do us justice. And so that's where we kind of got involved to kind of help to make this better. And since then, Ian's been working really hard on doing that. Last year, for those of you who were not with us last year, our group had a committee that interviewed, I can't even remember at the moment, but quite a few, 10, 12-ish female Vietnam veterans. And someday we want those videos to be playing in the museum. However, we and the museum are still currently fundraising for that. And Dennis, do you have the mock-up? There you go. So in here, you see they're going to have the wraps in the back and uniforms, which they only have a couple uniforms right now. And then on that little panel there is where they want our videos to be playing. So I'm going to have Jennifer, our lovely secretary, hopefully we can get, we have a link that Ian gave us a while back that was supposed to be sent out to members last year, but I don't think it ever did. And so I want to try to get that going again, get that link sent out to all of our members, and they can help spread that around. And maybe even if we can get that posted on the Facebook page again, try to keep that alive and going.
Do you mind if I ask something to that, Susie, really quickly?
I have a question. Sorry. Susie, are you the link that you're talking about? Is it the link to fundraise for that women's exhibit? I'm way too close. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is, can you send it to me personally? Because I'm part of a women's veterans group here in Southeast Texas, and I'm on the board, and I'm fixing a fundraise for all women's veterans group in the Golden Triangle. And if you'll give me the link, I never even knew we had a link that we could fundraise. I have the #1 artist in Southeast Texas donating an oil painting worth thousands of dollars to the women's veterans group for us to auction. Like,
Okay.
if you'll send me that link, I can at least start getting some donations, at least for the women's group, because I'm part of the women's veterans group. So I know a lot of women who would want to donate, even if it's
Okay.
just $25.
Got it.
And I also need the bracelets and the coins. Dennis, can you email me how to get those? Because I need those by June the 9th. Women's Veterans Day is June 12th.
I will see what I can do, Jennifer. As soon as they come in, well, the coins, the wooden coins I won't have for a while. I don't know, because I'm like $800 in the hole right now.
No.
But
I
the
meant for me to
bracelets-
order
but-
them. If you'll just,
But the bracelets I'm going to send to everybody. Those will be in a few days.
okay, I can order them. I don't mind ordering them at all.
Okay, we'll get something
I mean,
figured out.
Okay, because the bracelets are super cheap and I could hand those out at the art museum.
Yeah.
Sorry. I wanted
Okay.
to make sure that was the link we were talking about, Susie. The women's exhibit is very important to me.
Ian, you had something to add to that?
Yes, just to add to the women's exhibit, so everyone's aware of it. Did you all ever mention the budget that we have to create that?
Not in a long time. You
Okay.
can refresh our memories.
So here's kind of what's going on with exhibits. The board over here, we just approved 2 weeks ago the new layout for phase 2 exhibits. So the ultimate goal is that the women's exhibit goes inside phase 2, and we have a nice little place for it right before the there's going to be a dog tag hallway that's going to look just fantastic. But if we end up making, so it's 35,000 to create this, and that's actually the best price possible we could get, because everything else was towards 70,000-80,000. And the goal with this is that if we're able to meet that 35,000, we still have a place in phase 1 to put it, but it will be constructed in a way that when phase 2 is ready to kind of open, we'll be able to move it from phase 1 to phase 2. So that 35,000, that price is a very good price, but even those $20 donations help a lot.
And which, by
Right,
the
but
way,
if you
just
give
to,
it,
go ahead. And just to add that, talking to these ladies, and I even had one reach out to me very recently, and I talked about it, that these ladies are just so happy to be included, that they're even being thought of, because for so long they were not even really recognized at all. And so, they just all said, the one thing that they want everyone to know, the resounding answer to that question for everyone was, we want everyone to know that we were there. So they're very grateful. The ladies that I've
Yes.
talked to are extremely grateful.
yeah,
Okay.
and that includes the 35,000, Ian. That includes the video and the display and everything, correct?
So that does include everything. I'm kind of working right now on so with that 15,000 we received for the exhibit that's going to be installed in 2 months, I'm trying my hand at fabricating basically a touchscreen interactive video display. And so far it's working out well enough that I think so they could probably actually construct it without the digital elements for 25. And I think I can do that extra $10,000 worth of work in-house to where it's only going to cost 3,000. So if we even can hit 28,000, I think that would probably be all we need.
Okay,
And just to
that gives me something to
clarify,
aim
how
for.
much have we raised at this point, and how far do we have to go to make that 28? I'm sorry, I might have missed that part.
Unfortunately,
We don't have any of it, right?
correct.
We
Okay.
have to get all of it, Crystal.
We can only go up from here. That's cool. Okay.
Hey, I got you $1.
We'll take
Okay.
it. We'll take
Hey,
it.
anything else on the women's exhibit?
There is also on our page, and I believe it's on the whole museum website, there's a donate button, and you can scroll down and select women's exhibit specifically. So, but I'll get you that
Okay.
other link. It's prettier.
But the only
Yeah.
thing that you have to, for that button, is that button for the women's exhibit is only accessible if you're on the Sons and Daughters page. So if you're on the home page, there's a donate now button, but that won't show the women's exhibit. You have to go to the Sons and Daughters page. and then click the donate button.
Okay, and when all of this is done, I would like to invite everybody June the 9th from 1 to 3. If you're anywhere in our area, we're having a women's veteran sundress social, and it is our fundraiser. That's where we're doing all of the fundraising. We are going to have a table for the sons and daughters because I'm going to man it. I actually made a sundress out of Coast Guard material. So I'm going to be all in. So anyway, if you're in town or anywhere near, Crystal, I know you're probably the closest. You guys are invited. I'll send everybody invitations. You're my personal guest, and we'll have a table for the board if you show up.
Awesome. Count me in. I'll be there.
All right, fantastic. Moving on to old business bylaws.
I'll mute for that one.
Where do we stand on that? I know I saw you just sent something back out today again, Susie.
Yeah, there was just one suggestion that got left off of all of the many suggestions. But and then I made a couple of notes. For the most part, I think they're ready, but I just had a couple of notes from that. I don't know where everyone else stands with that. Darren, did you even have time to look them over yet?
I did not, to be very honest, so I will do that, but I'm sure they're okay, but
Did they get sent to you today?
you know, I just got back from a flight. Let me see. I don't think I don't know that I got them.
Okay, you might not have. I didn't
Yeah,
see
I
you in
don't
the
think-
original.
I don't think I got them yet.
Okay.
Okay,
So my
so- Yeah, go ahead,
my
Susie.
thought, huh?
Go ahead.
So I was thinking, because we really need to hurry up and get that done. And the sooner we incorporate, the sooner we get our own bank account and get out of the museum's account. If we could call a special meeting like in a month or something, give the new guys time to look it over.
I agree with that. I second that.
Yep, I think that's a great idea, Susie.
Okay, so we'll do that. And that way it'll give, what we'll have to do is we'll have to put out one final with those additional additions that you sent out again today that we missed, Susie. And then we'll send that out and then we'll call for something in June. And hopefully at that point, we'll be able to just vote on them and get this squared away and get our 990 paperwork sent off.
And we need to make sure Darren and Daniel get included on the email this time.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to wait a month on my account for sure. And I mean, I could look at it like, today or tomorrow. I mean, I just, so you know, I mean, I did not get anything. No.
Yeah, we'll make sure you get it. I would rather everybody have a full complete instead
Okay,
of, because
That's fine. Yeah.
these couple of items that Susie found today that we left off aren't in the document
Sure.
yet. So I'd rather have everything complete in one document. So we'll go that route.
Okay.
Okay, tote bags. Did you get those sent out, Katie?
No, I'm unclear. Am I sending those out to everyone that's renewed for, I mean, we're not doing a gift every single year for renewal, are we? I thought those were, yeah, are those, what
no,
renewals? Are we
I
just sending them to all current members?
I thought you were going to send a couple to some board members just to see how they go through the mail first to see if
Oh,
the
You
if
know,
the
you're
DPL
right.
flakes
You're
off.
right. I was gonna do that. Okay.
So
No,
just as a test before
so
we
that
decide
is
if
a
we can
no.
send them
Those
at
have,
all.
yep, those have not been sent out, but I can actually get those sent out.
Okay, and I don't even think you have to send them to all of us, just a couple maybe strategically
No,
through
I
the country.
think it's okay to send it to all the board members, right?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, we all need one.
They're nice.
My fear
Okay,
is
I will do that.
the print flaking off, but it'll be interesting to see how they come.
Yeah,
and
it'll
how-
be interesting to see. You're right. That's why we were gonna send them off. I guess it's,
Yep.
yeah, I forgot that's why we were, to see how they mail.
Okay, cool. Any other old business? Nope. Okay, we'll move into new business. I've got, before I open it up for anybody else, I got one little thing or two things here. I talked earlier about establishing some committees, and I put together a list of some committees and some special committees I'd like us to consider and then possibly vote on if everybody's in agreement. Let's see here. Oops, I need to share again. Okay, so for our standard committees, I'm proposing setting up a bylaws committee, and that would just be a few people with a one person to come to with all our suggestions for bylaw changes to present each year when we update any bylaws. Second would be a communications. That's split into two subcommittees. One would be our like social media and website, and then another would be print. I would like to at some point get to the point where we're sending our own newsletter. It doesn't have to be huge, just it could be a front and back even, just something that everybody's getting at home with up-to-date information on our organization. Membership committee to track membership and recruit new membership. Veterans Affairs. I think that's something we need to start getting involved in is how can we help out our veterans? And then lastly is legislative. And that's being on top of anything going on currently in Congress. How can we get involved? If there's, testimony going on about children that have effects from Agent Orange, we've got some in our group. It'd be great to have our group represented along with the VFW and the American Legion when they go testify before Congress. And that's something we can do. So if we have a committee set up to look for those things, then we could take part in that. And then second would be our special committees. One would be the spring fundraiser, and that's getting the donations for our raffles and helping the museum with any items we're able to get so they can auction those. Second would be education and scholarship. This committee would, one, look into possibilities of us in the future being able to offer some type of scholarships, and then also looking at creating some type of Vietnam War curriculum that we could share with schools and homeschools to help teach the war. Next would be a speaker series to establish this speaker series we've been trying to get together. I think if we have a committee that's set and working on that, perhaps it might be something that will pick up and gain some traction. Next would be a quartermaster. We've tried to sell our set up to sell merch on Amazon. We've been turned down. Katie thinks she figured out why, and it makes sense. We do have that Zazzle right now where you could order shirts like Todd has on right now. Nice shirt, Todd. But if we did those things ourselves, and we wouldn't have to carry a lot of things, but if we just had somebody that was a quartermaster committee that would keep some t-shirts, maybe some decals, and then whatever else we decide we wanted to sell, we would be able to make a lot of money on it, a lot more than if we're selling it third party on a website. Like right now with those t-shirts, we're only making $1 or $2 on them versus making $10 on a t-shirt. Memorials, something to look into is, do we want to start getting involved with documenting memorials, possibly looking at any type of memorials from us in the future. Something I looked at that kind of ties in with this America 250 is possibly putting some type of Sons and Daughters Memorial at Arlington in 2 years. And it's another thing, it's like a year-long process to go through, but it's something that we can make happen, that we'd be able to put a memorial to our lost veterans at Arlington on behalf of the Sons and Daughters of the Vietnam War. And then lastly would be that America 250 committee with a subcommittee about that USO concert at the museum that I spoke about a short time ago. So let's stop sharing again. Okay, so that's what I would like to do. That's what I would like to see. To get these committee chairmen and members, I would send out a survey to all our members asking, would you like to help? These are the areas we need help in, and see what kind of responses we get to those and hopefully attract enough members for these committees. Susie, I want to talk to you and let you talk, but first we need a motion and a second before we can open discussion. Is there a motion to accept this proposal?
I'll make a motion to accept the proposal.
Okay. And a
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a first and a second now. Discussion's open. Susie?
So bylaws in our bylaws, it states that the secretary is the go-to, the head person for bylaw changes. So I just wanted to add that in. And the
Okay.
spring, and secondly, the spring fundraiser is no more.
Oh,
We
okay.
had the very last one. They are now, Ian is transitioning to a fall fundraiser.
Okay. So would we still, is Ian still here? Is that
Yep.
something we would be able to take part in and we could just change that from spring to fall?
Absolutely. I will need all the help I can get, so please.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And-
So
and
we would make
the-
that change.
The only thing is, can we just take off fall or spring and just make it like a museum fundraiser and then sons and daughters fundraiser? Because you don't have a committee for the sons and daughters, because we need to fundraise ourselves. We have $4,000, and I think we could fundraise ourselves and actually get some money for us to do things for scholarships and stuff. So I think if we had a committee for fundraising just for us and then a fundraising for just the museum, it would be more maybe comprehensible.
Well, that one of the other reasons why, and I think Dennis and I discussed this, is that, you know, we need to hurry up and get our bylaws done so that we can incorporate, because a lot more doors open for us once
Right.
we are a 501c3. So
Right. And
Yeah,
I think we should
absolutely.
I really think we should push to vote on the bylaws next month in the special meeting. I think we should absolutely vote on them and then be permanent, and the only changes once every quarter or every year, like not a whole lot.
No, it's once a year and that meeting will happen. We decided it will happen, Jennifer. All right. So
So,
we're
I mean-
proposing, what we'll do is then I'm proposing we change that to just a fundraising committee with a subcommittee of the museum fundraiser, the new fall fundraiser.
Right. And I definitely, I do like all the committees, because then that kind of disperses the responsibility on everyone and not just one person doing the whole show. And that's a lot of stress for somebody. And I think somebody taking a little bit of bite off of each thing could really be successful. And I think that's a great idea. I think having committees and really voting on that and doing that. And I love all of your ideas, Dennis. All of them are brilliant, and genuinely, I'm very excited over the next 2 years, and that's coming from my heart. And I have not been able to say that in the last couple of months. So thank you.
Thank you.
That's exciting.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion passes. We will establish those committees. Is there any other new business?
Yes.
Go ahead, Susie.
I
love
have
you.
two things. Number one, I'd like to request permission for correspondence for invoices. If we could just use my address for now instead of the secretary's address, just because our bank account currently is the museum's bank account. And I don't feel like if checks come in, I don't think we all need access to the museum account. So I think that'll make it easier if we can just leave the correspondence for, as far as invoice goes, to come to me. If
I
that's
think that
okay.
simplifies things. Yeah.
Can we make a motion?
You can make that motion.
Or I can motion, I'd like to make a motion that we, for now, until we have our own account, to have the invoices sent to me.
I second.
All right, taken by Todd, second by Todd. Is there any discussion?
The other thing, can we get a list
wait.
of all of, oh,
Nope. Okay, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor would say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. There you go, Susie.
sorry about
So
that.
I don't know
And
how
then-
we will arrange that, but you'll take care of getting that switched over, however. Okay.
Yeah, it's easy to set up in Square. And then phone numbers and emails for all the board members, if we could get a list of all that, please.
Jennifer, are you able to put that together? Okay.
We have emails for everybody, we just don't have phone numbers. So I guess we can send out an email.
Or
I'll send an email to everyone and,
could you maybe
sorry.
maybe put together like a small roster of the officers and board, and that way we have each other's information. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. Any other new business?
I would just like to ask Darren to introduce himself. I'm not familiar with Darren. I don't know anything about Darren. And just as he's joining our board of directors, would love to know a little bit about him and why he's, what brings him to Sons and Daughters.
That's a good, yeah, I have obviously not participated previously, other than I got memberships for my niece and nephew and my brother, back when I discovered this. I came across this, I think, because on Amazon, there was, you were able to pick they got rid of this program a while back, but you were able to pick a charity to donate a percentage of your, it's called Amazon Smile, and National Vietnam War Museum was what I had selected, and my company and I did a lot of purchasing anyway, so it led me to the website and the whole thing, and I just somehow discovered this a couple of years back. But I am highly interested in helping, and particularly because, so my dad is a Vietnam helicopter pilot that came out of Vietnam and made it into an pretty amazing career, very unique. It's the whole story in that, and he's still flying, and it's just crazy. And he's super involved in VFW and American Legion and just all veterans causes. And, while he's still around and he's healthier than me, to be honest, I feel like I somehow want to have him help the cause. And he knows a lot of people, and I've never really engaged with him so much on this. And he's actually probably retiring this year, and he has he's an aerial cinematography helicopter pilot. Again, I'll get into that maybe separately, but he has a helicopter, he has a plane, and I want to somehow have him help us, so to speak, if that makes sense. So I would like to see how we can help leverage that, and with people he knows, and maybe something we can do to help him publicize the cause here. Obviously, we don't have, based on looking at the numbers, there's not a whole lot of members, and collectively what there could be, right? There could be thousands of people here, not in this forum, but in general, right? So yeah, so I want to help, essentially. So does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I should have had you introduce yourself. I
But
apologize.
that's okay. No,
Thank you, Leila.
No, that's fine. And I have a very demanding business I run myself. I have a technology business, and I have a little more time now than when I first discovered this. So I think I attended like 1 or 2 meetings over the last several years, and then I just, I've too many things. But now I have some more time, and again, especially while my dad is still around, I want to do what we can to to help. As an example, he's highly involved. There's an air show. We're from New York. There's a Memorial Day air show he's been involved with for the last 15 years. He shuttles the performing pilots back and forth to and anyway, it's a whole thing. But he meets, it's full of people that are, a lot of veterans attend, and a lot of veterans he's directly interacting with, and just, I don't know, I want to help have him out there spreading the word about this organization.
That's great.
Welcome.
Looking forward to it. I think
Welcome.
you might be able to help us a lot. So
Yeah,
yes,
I
welcome.
think we can.
We're
Nice to
very
meet you.
glad
Welcome,
you're
Darren.
here.
Nice to meet you.
Is there an email? Yeah, I guess if there's like an email list, then I'll send some stuff. I don't have, I have the email for the meeting. I guess everybody was on that, right? So I could use that as but there's not like a group. It's just everybody's individual addresses. Is that right? Or
Correct.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
that's what
What
That's what Jennifer's gonna mail.
Jennifer's going to send information just for officers and board of directors. It's been, and Katie, if I misspeak, set me straight. There is, how do I say it? Every general membership's information is not distributed to general membership, if that makes any sense. Just to protect people's information, so we don't get someone that joins who has intentions that are not noble, etc., and then getting a hold of all of our information. So as far as having general memberships information, when I send an email, it's sent blind carbon copy. But as far as officers and directors, we just put each other's emails
Okay.
in there.
All right. Any other new business? Okay. Moving on to comments, announcements, and good of the order. I've got a couple things. I'm going to reshare my screen for the last time. All right. And the first announcement, share. First announcement is Katie is being appointed as our registrar. So all the incoming membership is still going to go to Katie. She's still going to process it for us since she's been doing it for the past 3 years instead of having to ship that stuff across the country to somebody else, training them. Hopefully it gets right. They do it right. Katie's got it under control. So until we have tons and tons of membership coming in, hopefully she'll be able to handle it. And then we've also talked, and something we're looking at doing, which would make the job a lot easier on her, is taking away the ability to mail in an application. Everything would be done through the website. It would save her time from having to input information. She would just be able to pull it from what they enter, trying to decipher how people write and what their numbers and letters are, and would just make the job a lot easier on her. So it's something we're looking at, and she's talking to the guy that does our website currently to find out how much it's going to cost us. It'll cost a little bit, but not a whole lot. But so I want to thank Katie for taking that on for us. And then a couple more things for Katie is first, Katie, you'll be getting this in the mail, but I just wanted to give you a certificate. Thank you for your years of service and declaring you a past national president. So that will be coming in the mail. However, there's something else I'm waiting on and it hasn't come. So I want to send those together and then I'll present that at the next meeting, but it should be here shortly. But as soon as that comes, I'll get both these out to you. And then also this is on your way to you. And this is just a gift from the sons and daughters. But we've adopted a shark in your name or in your
Oh my gosh.
So you're going to have, for your love of sharks, you're going to have a shark package coming to you with a 12-inch plus shark and an adoption certificate, a picture of your shark and a sticker. I did have to name them though, and I wasn't sure what to name them. And I had some issues. And since I'm from Detroit, your shark is going to be called Swim Shady. So look for that.
Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome.
That should be on the way.
Katie
sometime.
Shark doo 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 doo. Katie Shark doo doo doo.
So that should be on the way this week.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much. That's awesome. I love it.
Thank you for your service, Katie. We appreciate you.
Oh,
Absolutely.
it's been
If it weren't for
awesome.
you, Katie, we wouldn't be here right now. So
That's right. And you worked your tail off and did everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're gonna make me cry, and I wasn't going to. But
okay.
my kid's not on.
Any
Thank
other announcements? No?
I did have a question. The speaker series, because Susie brought it up at the beginning of the meeting as far as having all of my teeth removed. I was unable to do the speaker series on navigating the VA. Do you still want me to do that? Do you something you want to plan?
So
Or do you
what
want to
I'm-
wait till we get a committee together?
Exactly. Yep.
Or
We'll wait and we'll get it.
Okay.
I these committees are going to be formed before our next meeting. I'm going to send this survey out sometime in the
Okay.
next week or so, and hopefully form the committees, and hopefully some of them will start working and have reports for us in August. So yeah,
Okay,
just
well,
give it a week or two, and then we'll get that back on the schedule.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I mean, I had it all. I mean, I have what I did. I didn't know if you wanted to continue that or not. So, and that's fine. Whatever. I'm
Oh,
good.
yeah,
either
absolutely.
way.
No, I think it's an important session that we need to have. So
And Dennis, I would request, because the museum being here in Texas and I'm here in Texas, can you please put me on the American 250? I actually have a friend who does nothing but concerts in Dallas, Fort Worth. He literally, that's all he does is concerts. So he knows everybody, like Stoney LaRue, all of them. So I really would like to be on that committee. I'm just asking.
okay, I made a note.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any other
And I'll be on
announcements?
any other committee.
Okay.
Any other committee you want me on, fine too.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, it looks like everything is all set and done. So I thank you everybody for joining us. And I'm ready to go. Hopefully you are too. We'll get these committees started. Hopefully by next meeting, with that going, we'll be able to increase the membership on the call. And we did have some people that joined us. I see Katie's daughter joined us at the end. So thanks for joining us. Next meeting will be August 1st at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. So I will see anybody then. If you guys need anything in the meantime, please let me know. Shoot me a text or send me an email. Like I said, I do have a new job, so I do travel internationally here and there now. But I'll let you guys know if I'm going to be gone for an extended period of time.
Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good
I'll
night,
call
guys.
you, Leila.
Bye.
Okay.
Good night.